Hello there, welcome to Channel 16.8. This presentation contains material that some viewers may find objectionable in part or in full. Life is full of uncertainties. We present only an interpretation. Viewer discretion is advised.
Did you read the news a few days ago that Kuala Lumpur's population hits 8.8 million? What was your immediate reaction? Unfazed? You probably don't care even if it is 20 million people. But some people do care, especially if you are one of those who spend hours caught in traffic jams in and around the city. Imagine there will be more traffic on the road. And I guess your immediate reaction was probably, what? 8.8 million? Where are the people? And if you're a businessman in the retail industry, you probably go, wow, there's going to be a lot more potential in this city. Well, read the news properly, and I do mean properly. Federal Territories Minister Zaliha mentioned the 8.8 million figure in her speech at the launch of the 10 planning guidelines for the Federal Territory of Kuala Lumpur 2024 on 6th of August. She said the figure is forecast to hit 9.8 million by 2030. So Kuala Lumpur City Hall, or DBKL, needs to be more proactive in planning and providing infrastructure. She also said that the population growth involves natural increase in city areas and also people migrating from rural areas to the city. Existing infrastructure is therefore under pressure, and the government need to provide a better basic service to all city dwellers so that Kuala Lumpur becomes a livable city. That alone tells us that she's concerned for the people of the city. People of the city, Kuala Lumpur City. Fair enough. After all, she is the minister in the Prime Minister's department for Federal Territory. Of course, any sensible Kuala Lumpur resident will know that the population of the city is way, way below the 8.8 million mark. In fact, just a few days prior to the minister's speech, Bernama News Agency on 31st July 2024 quoted Malaysia's chief statistician Dr. Muhammad Uzair Mahidin as saying that Selangor has the highest population among all states and territories, and it is 7.4 million for Selangor. Kuala Lumpur territory is listed as having just 2.0675 million people. Even with just 2 million people, at certain times of the year, the residents are already choked and gasping for more oxygen. Can you imagine if the population is really 8.8 million people? So, how did the 8.8 million figure come about? The alarming news, or not so alarming news, also appeared in other main media. Quite a few. Firstly, in the Star's initial online edition at 6:40 p.m., it was published with the headlines, Greater Kuala Lumpur's population, blah blah blah. Then, the Star got mischievous. The subsequent online version does not carry the word greater. Maybe it was omitted to make it a clickbait. Without the greater word, it is more likely the news becomes sensational. The word greater is also omitted in its print edition. New Straits Times, in its online edition, published it as Greater Kuala Lumpur's population to exceed 8.8 million. Clear enough, Greater Kuala Lumpur, not just Kuala Lumpur, the city. But the news was not considered important enough or sensational enough for its print edition. So we don't find it there. At East, I didn't find it. Understandably so. New Straits Times was just a 32-page newspaper that day. The Malay Mail also clearly included the word greater when it says, as Greater KL's population hits 8.8 million and counting, Minister flags challenges, says pressure now on DBKL for proactive city planning. And that's where some confusion lies. DBKL, as I know it, is responsible for development in the city, just the city, and not the Greater KL region. Even the minister herself is responsible for just the federal territory, not the people or the development outside the federal territory's borders. Or maybe I am mistaken. Please correct me if I am wrong. The confusion is enough to lead a reader to post an opinion piece in some media. The writer sent his piece of work to more than just one media. I read the piece in Focus Malaysia with the title, The Actual Size of Kuala Lumpur. The The same opinion also appeared in a nonsensical media I shall not name, with the question, KL's population. Where did the FT minister get 8.8 million from? Chan, the writer, was dramatic, claiming that he almost fell off his chair when he read the headline. I don't know what kind of chair he sits on, but I reckon he probably just read the headlines in the Star or Free Malaysia Today. If he had read the Malay Mail or the New Straits Times, he would have found the word greater in the headlines itself. Anyway, in his opinion piece, Chan said, it seems that those who wrote the speech could not distinguish between Kuala Lumpur and Greater Kuala Lumpur. He says Greater Kuala Lumpur covers 13,565 square kilometers and includes the whole of Kuala Lumpur, Putrajaya, Selangor, parts of Negeri Sembilan, Pahang and Perak. I was taken aback, but no, I did not fall off my chair, not anywhere close to falling off. It's a stable, solid chair. But I know that the 13,565 square kilometers figure could not have been correct. I later found out that the definition of Greater Kuala Lumpur that Chan used is the same as what we can find on Wikipedia. Wikipedia isn't the most credible source, or is it? I would not consider Wikipedia a credible source for factual stuff. The 8.8 million population was there too. Whether the figure on Wikipedia was edited right after the news of the minister's speech, I do not know. But if that is Wikipedia's definition of Greater Kuala Lumpur, Wikipedia definitely got the population figure wrong. Very wrong. According to the official definition of Greater Kuala Lumpur, well, I consider it as official definition since it was in a Malaysian government document. Greater Kuala Lumpur under the Economic Transformation Program is defined as comprising Kuala Lumpur, Putrajaya, and all districts in Selangor, with the exception of Kuala Langat, Kuala Selangor, Sabak Bernam, and Hulu Selangor. That's the 2010 definition, based on Permandu as the source. The 2010 population for Greater Kuala Lumpur then was 6 million. Now, 14 years later, in 2024, the 8.8 million quoted by the minister is probably based on Pemandu's definition rather than Wikipedia's. I checked out the official open.dosm.gov.my portable for some population figures. Official figures, of course. As at 30th August 2023, the population of Selangor, Kuala Lumpur and Putrajaya combined is 9,085,737. That's almost a year ago, and the figure in itself is already bigger than the 8.8 million mentioned on Wikipedia as 2024 figures for Greater Kuala Lumpur. And the DOSM figure of over 9 million does not include the numbers for parts of Perak, Pahang and Negeri Sembilan that Wikipedia included in its definition. Let's go a step further. Wikipedia included the districts of Seremban, Port Dickson, Bentong, and Tanjung Malim in its definition. And according to the official open.dosm.gov.my website, the combined population of these four districts as at 30 August 2023 is 898,807. Should we add this to the 9.085 million figure, it will bring the figure closer to 10 million. So, that Wikipedia definition of Greater Kuala Lumpur does not appear to be what the minister was referring to. Wikipedia has to decide, stick to their definition and amend the population figure, or stick to the minister's 8.8 million figure and amend its definition. So, what is the basis for the minister's population figure? I don't know for sure. But we know for sure it is not for just the Kuala Lumpur city alone. Someone in all media should ask her office what's their definition of Greater Kuala Lumpur. Just yesterday, the media reported some demographic figures released by our Department of Statistics Malaysia. It says that nationwide live births plunged by 10% in the second quarter of 2024 compared to the previous year. And as expected, Selangor reported the highest number of live births. Most of Selangor is under the definition of Greater Kuala Lumpur, so the minister may likely get her 9.8 million population by 2030 as per her forecast. I will probably cover this drop in live births in my next video. If you like this podcast, please remember to subscribe so that you will be notified of new videos. Meanwhile, please let me know your views in the comments section below. Cheers.